Well, good morning. My name is Brian Grant. I'm Vice President for Enrollment and Student Advancement. Welcome to Clarkson University. The 20th Annual December Recognition Ceremony for graduates completing their degree requirements at the end of the fall semester will begin in a few moments. Thank you for joining us to celebrate the important milestone of our degree candidates who are completing their studies at Clarkson this week. We're pleased to welcome many more guests, faculty, and staff this year. There are a few housekeeping items I want to bring to your attention as we have a larger crowd here today. Even though we are graduating today's world leaders in technology, we do ask that you turn off your phones during the ceremony today. We'll have a professional photographer that will take photos of the candidates as they're handed their certificates, so please stay seated while the honoree is recognized. Restrooms are located by going through the back exit behind you and down the stairs to the locker rooms. Additional restrooms are in the Alumni gym. Building exits are located behind you and on to the left and behind us here on the stage. Immediately after this ceremony, please join us for a celebration reception hosted by the President, Provost, faculty, and staff, and the Clarkson Alumni Association. Thank you for your attendance here today. The ceremony, led by Senior Vice President and Provost Chuck Thorpe, will begin shortly.
Good morning. I'm Chuck Thorpe. I'm the Senior Vice President and Provost at Clarkson. Welcome to the winter celebration. Did anybody notice what the date is? It's December 17th. December 17th, 1903. Any aeronautical engineers out there? The Wright brothers, the world's first flight, 120 feet. So I paced off from where you guys are sitting. Up here, around, and back down is about 120 feet. And this is about as high as the Wright brothers got. So it's your first flight. Now, aviation went from the Wright brothers to Lindbergh to breaking the sound barrier to landing on the moon. Your careers are going to launch the same way, from your first flight across the stage to shooting for the moon. Congratulations. Now, I was congratulating the graduates. How about congratulations for the family and the friends who are here, too? In fact, here's where the script gets complicated. Students, I know you want to thank family and friends and faculty. Faculty, I know you want to congratulate the students and thank the family and friends. Family and friends, I know you want to congratulate the students and thank the faculty. Why doesn't everybody just applaud for everybody? Congratulations on being well launched on your first flight. It is now my privilege to welcome Jessica Martin, class of 17, the senior class president, who will make remarks on behalf of your fellow students. Jessica. Get up.
Thank you, Provost Thorpe. Faculty, staff, friends, families, and graduates. My name is Jessie Martin. I'm the senior class president, and I'm honored to have the opportunity to speak to you all today. As of 11 a.m. yesterday, I am 7/8 of the way through my degree in chemical engineering, and incredibly jealous of all of you who have successfully completed yours. Now, this does mean that for the last 7 semesters, I've done a lot of math problems, I've written a fair number of lab reports, but I haven't done too much public speaking, so I will ask that you all bear with me. After I was informed that I would be speaking here today, I, like any college student, unsure where to start on an assignment, turned to Google. My searches yielded speeches from larger-than-life figures who eloquently imparted their wisdom to their audiences. As a 21-year-old college senior, I still have a lot to learn, and I'm not sure that I have any wisdom to impart just yet. So instead, I'd like to take this opportunity to acknowledge and celebrate what you have completed in your time here. We all know that the courses here are challenging and that the weather creates its own special set of obstacles. And if I were to try to itemize every hurdle that we faced as college students in the North Country, we would be here for far too long. What's important is that all trials you faced here, you triumphed over. Today, we are here to celebrate the required tenacity and dedication that getting here took, and to thank all the people who helped us along the way, like the awe-inspiring members of the Clarkson faculty and staff, and our families who encouraged and supported us. But I think the most important people we convey our appreciation to today, and the ones who are often forgotten, are our fellow Clarkson students. When I look around this auditorium, not only do I see friendships I know will last a lifetime, but I also see mentors, role models, people who inspired us to work harder and drove us to be better. There are lots of famous quotes expressing that you're the product of your environment, and how the people you spend the most time with are the ones who shape the person you grow into. Now, if those are true, and I personally believe that they are, then undoubtedly these have been the best 4 years of my life, because I've had the honor to be surrounded by people who inspire me and taught me things that cannot be learned in a lecture hall. And today I would like to say how grateful I am to be a part of this community. If I could leave you with one thing today, it is that I hope that as we move on from our temporary home in Potsdam, New York, we express our gratitude to those people and take a moment to be proud of our Clarkson community. Because no matter how far life moves you from the North Country, we will always have roots here. Thank you very much, and let's go Tech. Please now welcome back Brian Grant, Vice President for Enrollment and Student Advancement.
Well, I always feel that I'm blessed and now have the opportunity to not only know students through the admissions process, but also get to know them through their student life activities. And I'm fortunate because I'm probably one of the few people that got to see how high quality students we had even before you stepped on our campus. So looking at your applications, your recommendations, we knew you were Clarkson. You were the students that were going to make us a better institution. And I love sort of that application time because it's awe-inspiring to hear what our students did in high school, but more importantly, to know what you were going to do here, and you have not disappointed us. Certainly from a student life side, it's important. You have made us a better institution. You've elevated us. You've pushed us, and that's great. And now we sort of ask you to do the same as you move forward on to the next stage of your life. But I personally want to thank you, knowing that we started sort of at that admission table at points, knowing you came to this institution and you made us a better institution at the end. So again, on behalf of the university, I thank you. As a Clarkson alum myself, these were great times here, but we're excited what the future is for you. And now it's my privilege to welcome Patrick Roach, Vice President for Development and Alumni Relations, who'll share a message about the transition from a student into a full-fledged alumni.
Well, good morning. Our president is fond of saying that no one comes to Potsdam by accident. Right? It's a joke, by the way. It seems particularly appropriate on a day like today with the driving snow, the cold temperatures, that here we are prepared to send you on your way. So I am here first and foremost to say congratulations, and a hearty one at that, on behalf of the folks that I work with in development and alumni relations, but mostly on behalf of our great body of alumni. You are now part of the family, 40,000 people strong. And I thought this was an important time for us to talk a little bit about a concept called service. So when they told me to talk about service, I thought maybe this is the part of the speech where everyone sort of zones out for a little while and thinks about where they're going to go have lunch or something like that. But it's a critically important message. It's not just an obligation, it's an opportunity for you all. What I want to share with you is this. A couple of months ago, I got a chance to talk to our incoming freshman class, and I predicted their future, not because I'm clairvoyant, but because the past tells us a lot about where we're going to go, and our history here is very strong. So I predicted to them that one, no matter what they thought, it was going to be colder than they ever imagined here in Potsdam. I nailed that one, I might add. I told them two, to look around that room because their best friends in the world were sitting in that space. I told them that they would work hard, that they would go out there and get great jobs, and their futures would be bright. Today, you have fulfilled a lot of that, and I hope as you go forward, you realize the richness of your experience, which goes far beyond the classroom and extends into so many parts of your life. So let me predict your future a little bit, based upon what so many who have come before you have done themselves. You will go out into the world, and you will succeed in grand ways. You will have great careers, families, friendships that will nurture you over the course of time. And when we talk about the concept of philanthropy, sometimes we think about that in Bill Gates terms, right? Who's giving billions of dollars and doing these kinds of things that make huge changes? I submit to you all that the concept of philanthropy is much simpler than all of that. It's based upon the idea that we all do our part. But even more than that, and this is something that is not quite uniquely American, but very much American, that we look and we do things that matter to us the most. So when you think about your lives and you think about Clarkson University, don't simply think about the 4 years that we're here. Think about the transformation that's out there, and think about the opportunity to continue to give back. Do I want you to give back in terms of dollars? Absolutely. We need everyone to do their part. And I can tell you that looking into this audience, there's virtually no one out there who can say that they have not been touched by scholarships provided by people who came before you. But giving back goes much further than that. It's coming to events. It's throwing the rope over for that next generation of Clarkson alums. I bet you we will see a good number of you at our career fairs. So keep a light on for other folks who are Clarkson people moving forward, and think about what it is that you can do to continue to enrich our great traditions here. So, with that having been said, congratulations to you all. We look forward to seeing you out in the field, back here at the university, and continuing to contribute to Clarkson. We're going amazing directions. It's the value of your degree going forward, and it's what you make out of it. But we look forward to a bright, bright time of spending the majority of your lives working with you as Clarkson alums here. So, it is now my privilege to introduce our guest speaker, Ken Camarco. He's a great friend of mine. Ken received his BS in Mechanical and Industrial Engineering from Clarkson in 1985. He served more than 20 years at Cooper Industries, a $6 billion global electrical products and tools manufacturer. During this time, he held several executive leadership positions, including president of Cooper Notification, their high-growth safety and security businesses, and chief information officer. He then became founder and principal of Waxwing Group, a global business development, technology, and process improvement. Engagements included technology companies involved in mobile asset tracking, RFID technologies, electrical smart grid monitoring, and energy-efficient lighting. Next, Ken became Senior Vice President of Global Operations and Business Systems at Pall Corporation. He was responsible for global manufacturing, supply chain, and information technology. In 2014, he was additionally appointed Chief Customer Satisfaction Officer to lead the corporation's customer-first initiatives. In 2015, Pall Corporation was sold for $14 billion. Wow. Ken. Ken is currently president. Ken is currently president and founder of C5 Enterprises, a startup company developing innovative material handling and cargo management products. In addition to providing business process improvement advisory services across a variety of industries, I am very proud to be able to welcome here today as not only our featured speaker, but a great friend and alum of this college. Please join me in welcoming Ken.
Thank you, Patrick. Thank you, President Collins. It's truly a pleasure to be with you all today. You know, and one of the greatest humbling things is to have the opportunity to come here as an alumnus and to greet you all. So one of the biggest concerns that I had was to not be boring, to keep it short. So I talked to President Collins about that, and he said, "Don't worry about it, Ken. We're only giving you 5 minutes." So with that, it is truly humbling to be asked, and honestly, it's wonderful to be with you all this morning and to be part of a day that you'll never forget. A milestone for the students, certainly, and for your parents and family that have supported you. It doesn't seem that long ago that I was in the very same spot and accomplishing one of the most important goals of my young life. I remember everything about that day in 1985, except for who the speaker was. And I'm sure that your day will be just as memorable. At the time, along with the elation and achieving a major goal, I had questions and concerns as well about what was next. Then, as now, the nation and the world were going through significant change. As we sit here today, there are uncertainties about the long-term prospects of Brexit, a new U.S. president-elect, and even projections about millennials not having the opportunity to participate or gain the same wealth as their parents had. First, let's be clear about one thing. The world only ends once. The rest of the time, we talk about the world coming to an end. Change is constant, and with change comes opportunities. Changes in global warming, energy, healthcare, the Internet of Things. All of these things are exciting, amazing, and threatening at the same time. Industry leaders like Jeff Bezos, Elon Musk, Bill Gates, and others like them are all looking at new frontiers, opening new markets, and helping solve some of the world's problems. All of these leaders share a common trait. They do not worry about change. In fact, they help bring it about. When I graduated, my father, a medic in World War II, advised me to live life like an adventure because you never know what lies ahead. He, like these other business leaders, understood that you need to determine your own future, and how successful your life is or becomes is really up to each of you. Adventure and success have different meanings to each individual, but a level of risk is implied in each. It is not much of an adventure if you know everywhere you are going to go or exactly what is going to happen to you along the way. And similarly, you can never truly be successful unless you have taken some risk. One of my favorite historical figures is President Teddy Roosevelt, and he captured this in one of his famous quotes. The credit belongs to the man who is actually in the arena, whose face is marred by the dust and sweat and blood, who strives valiantly, who at worst, if he fails, at least fails while daring greatly. As an exercise in an English course here at Clarkson, one of my professors had us write our definition of success. At the time, I had some pretty high expectations. The old American dream. I wanted a wife to love, a family, a nice house, a career that I enjoyed, and at some point, the ability to influence others in a positive way. I'm pleased to report that my wife and I celebrated our 25th wedding anniversary this year. I have 3 great children, a roof over our head, and I'm starting a new career. Well, where's the adventure and risk in that, you may ask? Well, that's only the headlines. The adventure really started when I accepted my first job, an offer that I received under the condition that I would not know what I would be doing for 2 years, I would be relocated twice, and I would not know the location of either of them. Adventure, check. Risk, check. Path toward leadership, check. It was in Dayton, Ohio, on my second move, that I was introduced to my future wife on a blind date. The same day she accepted a job to move out of town. In our 2-year courtship, we never lived closer than 500 miles apart, and that's before cell phones. I proposed to her in Kansas City on a horse and buggy ride. Romantic, right? That was after a dinner in which she was trying to break up with me. So path towards marriage and a family, check. Adventure and risk, double checks. So the first principle of achieving success, whether in business or your personal life, is to take the time to define it. Be able to answer the question, what success looks like to you. This makes it much easier for you to recognize it when it actually happens. Take the time to reflect on that now and write down your definition of success. You'll come back to it. Second, if success is your desired outcome and you believe living life as an adventure is a good recipe to follow, one key ingredient to make it happen is responsibility. Seek responsibility. Where change exists, there are problems to be solved, and there are leaders looking for other leaders to step up and help them solve them. Be prepared to spot the void and to put your hand up and be called upon. Responsibility requires doing something well for someone else. And whether in personal or in business life, that also implies taking risk. Great rewards come from doing something well for someone other than yourself, not the least of which is self-satisfaction. And when something feels good, when something feels really good, you want to do more of it. Take on more responsibility. In your lifetime, you will see much change. And for those willing to take some risks, to seek responsibility, to live each day as an adventure, your success is assured. I'd like to leave you with one last quote from Irma Bombeck, a revered American humorist, many of you probably don't remember, who defined her success this way: "When I stand before God at the end of my life, I would hope that I would not have a single bit of talent left and could say, I used everything you gave me." So let's celebrate today as the end of the beginning and start tomorrow by putting our talents back to work on our next great adventure. It's a pleasure to be with you.
Well, thank you, Tony Collins, president here at Clarkson. Thank you, Ken. I've learned now the hard way that the next time I give some advice to a speaker and say it's 5 minutes, I will add, but you can't be funny and you can't be really intelligent because I have to follow you. But I really enjoyed that, and as I've enjoyed all of the comments so far. So welcome. I know that some people, I was talking to a family, they've arrived from Portland, and I know someone that's a little further away. Pierre Njur. Do you want to just stand for a second and face the audience? Pierre is here from the Cameroons. He doesn't have his family, so let's give him a round of applause. Thank you, Pierre, and congratulations. Just going to say a couple of words here, and I think you'll pick up the theme that you've heard through the previous speakers. This week we had a wonderful event in Potsdam. A company that had been formed by a Clarkson faculty member, Stephanie Schuckers in electrical engineering, called Next ID Biometrics. And you're wondering where I'm going with this at a commencement speech. The company was formed around biometrics, fingerprint identification, to know if there is a real person behind that fingerprint. It was sold this week to a Swedish firm, Precise Biometrics, for $3.5 million. And Precise Biometrics has said that they're going to locate their North American activities right here in Potsdam. So, yeah. The great majority of the people that have worked in that company, have been employed by it, have thought through the process, are all Clarkson graduates. And I submit to you that the idea, sometimes we talk a lot about the global world that we prepare you for, but I'm trying to get to a point of thinking locally. Think of the impact that that activity is having right here in the North Country. I know there are graduates today, Charlotte Hayden, Colton Weaver, that have helped us along the way in terms of this entrepreneurship. Now I'm going to drop to something else. The youngest graduate today, Claire Englert. Claire, where are you? Why don't you stand up? Why do I know that Claire is the youngest graduate? Well, we actually had a reception last night at Foster House for the students, for those that could come. And of course, we checked the ages. And Claire, I have to say, is yet to turn 21. I know about that for obvious reasons. Claire is local, my point of local. Claire is from Messina. So an honors student, came to the Clarkson School. She has 4 offers to go to med school, is still seeking out the right one, and she wants a career as a medical doctor, and she wants to serve in a rural region. Claire, we hope that you come back to our location, to our region. So what I'm emphasizing, and I think it is the theme today, is if we're going to make this a better world, we are challenged as a world today to bring our world together wherever you go. Please think about the local region that you're in, your local community. How can you help it? Here we've got a wonderful example of a startup company that's hopefully going to bring prosperity right into our village of Potsdam. Here we have someone that's going on with a goal of serving in a rural area. We need that kind of service. So my message today is clear. Wherever you go, you're carrying a tremendous degree with you that's going to open many doors. Please give back to your local community, reach out to others, and bring our nation and this world together. Thank you and congratulations. It's a wonderful opportunity in front of you. So now back to our Provost, Chuck Thorpe.
Are you ready for the principal business of the day? We will now recognize the students who have taken all of the required coursework towards a degree at Clarkson and who are ready to move on to the next phase of their professional and personal pursuits. Students, you are presented today as candidates for your respective degrees to be confirmed by a vote of the faculty and Board of Trustees after all grades are finalized, and which will then grant you all of the rights, privileges, responsibilities, and honors which appertain thereto for a Clarkson degree. Following tradition, the doctoral candidates will be presented first, followed by the master's degree candidates, and then the bachelor's degree candidates. Students, please ascend to the stage to be recognized when your name is called. Family and friends, we ask that you please hold your applause until all of the candidates for each degree cohort have been recognized. Beginning with recognition of the candidates for Clarkson's highest academic degrees, it is an honor for me to present a PhD in mathematics to Aladdin Ahmed al-Bashir. As part of the requirements to earn a PhD, Aladdin completed his thesis titled, "A Mathematical Investigation of the Effects of Cannibalism in 2 or 3 Species Predator-Prey Systems," completed it this past fall under the direction of Assistant Professor of Mathematics, Rana Parshad. It is an honor for me to present a PhD in Civil and Environmental Engineering to Pubudu Kumarage. As part of the requirements to earn a PhD, Pudubu completed earlier this past fall his thesis titled, "Simulating Transport of Gases Released from Hydrothermal Vents and Resulting Acidification," under the direction of Professor of Civil and Environmental Engineering, Pujita Yapa. Bill Jemison, Dean of the Wallace H. Coulter School of Engineering, will present the rest of the names of the candidates. Dr. Jemison, please begin when you and the honorees are ready.
Thank you. Our next recognition is for the candidates for the Master of Science in Chemical Engineering, Master of Science in Civil Engineering, Master of Science in Mechanical Engineering, Master of Science in Aeronautical Engineering, Master of Science in Engineering Management, Master of Business Administration, Master of Engineering in Civil Engineering, and Master of Mathematics. Amanda Lynn Crump. Xiaotong Ji. Kevin Michael Gay. Joel Hargrave. Pubudu Kumarage. Pierre Zua. Robert L. Robinson. Vijaya Siemha Valenki. Congratulations to all the master's degree candidates. Our final recognition is for the degree cohort for the Bachelor of Science and Bachelor of Professional Studies. Christine L. Abplanalp. Mandy Andolina. Christian Ashley. Michael Ann Baker. Devin E. Baldoff. Jacob Baldwin. Michael Baldwin. Samantha Barrett. Matthew Bauer. Jonathan Berry. Haley Betts. James D. Bishoping. Brianna Blackburn. Holly Sue Bronson. Kirsten Campbell. Matthew Catafamo. Kelly Chen. Evan Thomas Cody. Bria Patrice Cole. Alicia Council. Michael Danner. Charles Davidson. Connor DeVito. Kurt Dobler. Colin P. Dowd. Daniel Drake. Matthew Drucker. Claire Margot Englert. Eric Falkengren. Graham Fisher. Mitchell Ferchette. Tyler J. Garriga. Ariana Gilbert. Tyler Gray. Anthony Guzetta. Jacqueline Ann Hart. Charlotte Hayden. Zachary S. Heilman. Douglas Hillpot. Clinton James Hobbs. Benjamin Joseph Hogan. Emma Hogan. Samuel J. Hogan. Christiane Holoduke. Jason J. Ring. Daniel Richard Jones. Mitchell Jones. Keith E. Judah. Kateri Kaminsky. Adam Kimball. Catherine M. Kimmock. Paul William LaMontoya. Michelle Landy. Jacob Clyde Lathrop. Megan Ryan McDonald. Donald S. McNaught III. Alexander Macri. Zachary Manners. Jessica Maron. Christopher Stephen Muzze. Benjamin M. McGrath. Jacob Clark McKinney, Kevin James McNamara, Brandon Joseph Metz, Bill Marula Nahigo, Patrick Olson, Patrice Osensi, Luis Guillermo Pajulo, Sylvana Payne, Zachary Peck, Ian Peterson, Dylan Prihoda, Alec Michael Radler, Ryan Joseph Recchia, Samuel E. Rosado Jr., Quinn Rufa, John Salko, Munraj Sandhu, Daniel Schmidt, Joseph A. Shenik, Andrew P. Scott, Deja B. Shepard, Andrew Snoggles, Matthew Philip Soyson, Kyle Thomas Stone, Benjamin Thayer, Rachel Tim, Evan Tugas, Tyler Tuttle, Peter Van Lente, Joshua G. Vogt, Joshua Dean Williams, Daniel Robert Wozniakna, Zachary Zielinski. Congratulations.
Stand up. Congratulations, and it is now my privilege to invite the Associate Professor of Mechanical Engineering and the Chair of our Faculty Senate, Kevin Feit, for the final words of the day. Kevin.
Thank you, Provost Thorpe. On behalf of the Faculty Senate and the entire university faculty, many of whom are here today, I'd like to congratulate you, December 2016 graduates, for your academic accomplishments being celebrated today. Additionally, I'd like to extend a special welcome and thanks to all the family members and friends who are here today in support of your achievements. Reflect on your journey to this point and relish this moment for all that it represents and all that you've accomplished. Then on to the next leg. In his biography entitled Be My Guest, Conrad Hilton outlined his keys to success. Among them, I'd like to highlight the following. Firstly, don't worry about your problems. As they say, worrying is like a rocking chair. It gives you something to do, but never gets you anywhere. Secondly, don't cling to the past. Learn from the past, but always continue pushing towards the future. Life isn't about the destination, it's about the journey. Speaking at a friend's funeral, a man noted the date of birth and date of death on his friend's tombstone and the dash that separates the two. What matters most of all, the man said, is that dash. It represents your journey along the pathways of life and all of the years spent living on this earth. You can't live forever, and life always runs out long before you've exhausted the possibilities of living. So, continuing with Conrad Hilton's keys, find your own particular talent. Don't let your possessions possess you. Live with enthusiasm and assume your full share of the responsibility in the world. Remember, that dash only lasts a while, and only those closest to you will know its true worth. So in the end, be able to take pride in the way you live your dash and the value placed on it by those who know you best. Congratulations and good luck.
Thank you, Professor Feit. This concludes the ceremony. Are you guys ready for the party? You're all invited to a reception. Congratulations again.